Well, howdy hey, my ecological fiends. Welcome to No Ceiling. If this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you like what you see. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. You're the reason that I keep doing this. This channel is about learning and perfecting our outdoor skills, learning a little bit about ecology, and overall trying to be better stewards to the land. So today we are going to be joined by my friend Greg, and we're going to go snorkeling and do a little bit of free diving at a local city park. It's on a richer side of town, so I have some prospects that we might be able to find something like an Apple Watch or maybe a cell phone or something like that, and I sure hope that you can hear me. I've got the wind muff on the microphone here, but it is just so darn windy and hot today. We're going to this city park, and there's a bridge there, so we're probably going to dive on either side of the bridge, and there's also some docks to go around. It's a very popular spot for the wealthier people in town to go during the summer. There's kids going there all the time, so I expect to find a ton of litter, but I do have my fingers crossed that we'll find something cool there as well. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because we're going to get on this table and we're going to look at every single thing that we found. And at the very end of the video, we are going to shoot this with a bow, which is my old laptop, and it has died. So we're going to watch it mercifully leave this world with a broadhead through the CPU. I'll see you there. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. They're yours if you want them. Like colder or more?
Colder.
Colder?
Yeah.
Looks ancient.
Oh, that water was gross. But we're back and we're clean, and I don't have a shower, so I've been sprayed with the hose. Many people ask after these videos what the heck I'm putting everything in, so I'm just going to tell you this time. This is an NRS strap. This is normally what I use for my belt. If I'm not wearing a leather belt, I'm more often wearing this as a belt because it's way more useful than a belt, and I find myself swimming when I don't expect to a lot, so it's nice to have something that won't get all puckered and that I have to condition afterward, which is what you have to do with leather. Basically, I've got this around my waist, and then I've got a climbing carabiner, not a locking one, and then I've got this bag, which is basically just made out of mosquito netting, and I just have this clipped to my waist so I can put things in there, and then I'll just cinch it tight. That way I can swim around. You probably saw me flinch a few times in the video. That's because this caught the corner of my eye and I thought there was like a big huge fish around my crotch and freaked out for a microsecond before I realized that it was just my bag. Anyway, we got some grody stuff to go through, so I'm going to throw on some gloves. So I'm not going to tell you exactly where we were, but I will tell you something interesting, is that that's the body of water that we were in is near the top of our watershed. It's about in the top third of it, and it is actually a reservoir of drinking water for the city that I live in. Obviously not in the city, but you get me. And there is a river that's diverted through a mountain that feeds into that reservoir, and strangely enough, I disagree with it personally, but there are motorboats allowed out there, and obviously a whole lot of junk And when I was there in person, the water looks a little bit cleaner than it does in the footage. I was watching the footage afterward, and it just looks absolutely disgusting, which it probably is pretty nasty. That being said, let's dive into the trash. And all of this is going to get recycled or reused somehow. We've got the top of a 2-liter soda bottle here. We've got maybe a third, maybe 2/5 of a tennis ball. We've got a small tennis ball. Suffered an acute rupturing of the main cavity. Now it is Pac-Man. This, which appears to be a strip of a wife beater, which is nasty. We've got what looks like a t-shirt, and it is so worn so thin you could probably see my face through there. I'm not gonna put my lips on that, but I can see you through there, most definitely. This thing looks like if it was around a corpse that was buried in somebody's garden, and you were like planting carrots or something, and you felt this, and you like pulled this out of the ground, and it just kept unfolding like the ground was a clown's mouth, and you pull this out and you go, oh my god, it's a shirt, and then you keep digging and you start to find like molars and stuff. That's what that looks like. We've got this thing, which is textured on one side, and I don't know, just a piece of plastic, as most of this is. Top of a can, we've got this Coke can, which is in really excellent condition. And I actually found this on the shore, not underwater, if I'm being honest with you. And somebody came up to me that I knew, and they said, Coke Zero, Cedar? And I had to tell them that it wasn't mine. We also found another tennis ball. This one actually does have a rupture in it. You probably can't see it on camera, but there's a little cut under here beneath the fuzz, but it's still usable, so I'm gonna hold on to this for catch. Got another can here that's crumpled, in pretty good shape though for being underwater. A bottle of water, more plastic, more cans, more can pieces. And something that I find really interesting about all these cans is that the centers seem to disintegrate before the outsides, and that's actually because by design the cans are thicker at the tops and bottoms to be able to handle the pressure of the carbonation and the temperature fluctuations that they have during shipping. The cylinder soda can is really a feat of engineering if you didn't know that already. Check this out. This is the top of one of those squirt guns that you go and then shoot other kids with. I don't know where the rest of it is. The area that I found this in, as you can tell in the video earlier, is really full of weeds. It's got like 2 or 3 feet of plants down there. So the only reason I spotted this is because it's neon orange. So I imagine the rest of it is unfortunately still down there. I did shuffle around with my fingers a little bit, but I couldn't find it. Part of someone's wig on the other end, and some sort of twist of wire here. So somebody was really desperate for a fishing lure. This thing is kind of interesting. I don't really know what it is, but it's very, very heavy. This is probably like a pound, and it looks like it's got some sort of epoxy or something inside of there. So my hypothesis for this is that it's part of a road. It's like part of something that would outline a bike lane, like 30 of these or something, placed intermittently, and epoxied down or tarred down somehow. Found World Marks by Wyndham key cards, so that would suggest that somebody came into town as a visitor, got a hotel room, and then somehow found this swimming spot, which is sad because that probably means that it's been geotagged somewhere. Found a mask which looks like it's either had a pattern on it or it's been bleached by the sun a little bit. Curiously, a tube of Crest toothpaste that is completely empty, so there's probably a fish out there with some really sparkly teeth, or somebody decided to finish out their tube of toothpaste while they were swimming and then swallow the cap and throw this in the water. I don't know, I don't have answers. It's just gross, and I hate it when people litter. Found this thing, which is full of water still, and it got some hair on it, but luckily it's just dog hair. This is a dog toy, I think. So I'm definitely gonna hold on to this as well. So far we've got the trekking pole holder, tennis ball, that thing. I've also got this, which appears to be a Radiator Specialty Company thing. It's a band of rubber. If I had to guess, it's part of a bungee cord that no longer works. Pieces of rope that I found totaling about 30 feet. They're pretty decayed, and I don't think I'd use them for anything terribly functional or risky because they were underwater for an undetermined amount of time, but I'm gonna tie these into little tug-of-war dog toys and then donate them. We found a fishing lure, which you saw me pluck off of the side of a bridge, and we used that after we were done diving to go fishing. We caught 2 fish with it immediately and then lost it again. That's my bad, I lost it, sorry Greg, but it's down in the depths. It's over 30 feet deep, which is beyond my range at the current time, and not really worth the risk for me to go down there. So that's been lost to the depths, and also we found a set of goggles, and from what I understand, Greg went out and got a set of goggles specifically for this mission, so it was really nice that we found them down there, a new set that seemed in pretty good condition that he can use now for that. So, not a total failure. We got a few cool things, no phones, no Apple Watches or anything. I'm always pretty skeptical of those YouTube videos when people are finding like 10 watches or like a handful of wedding rings and things like that. That's just me, maybe. This is all we found. Anyway, my laptop's down here. Let's go shoot it with a bow. This bow was gifted to me by Mike Hunt. I pretty much just finished fixing it today. I don't have a trigger release, so what I'm doing instead is a piece of paracord tied into a D-loop here, and I've got a stick with a hole drilled through it. So you pull back and then release these fingers, the paracord slips out and releases the bowstring. Check it out, where it bursts through the back here, quite a few places. These really look like bullet holes, especially from this side. Got complete contact with every arrow, shattered the LCD, and took out 2 of the keys, which I now have to walk around and find. Thanks for sticking with me. I really appreciate you still being here. These videos take a lot of effort to make, so if you like this, it would really help me out if you could subscribe and click the like button down there. And if you hated the video, you can click the dislike button twice. And go check out my other videos if you like this one. We do cleanups like this sometimes and shoot things sometimes, and it's just generally a fun place for me to be, and I hope that you have fun being here too. Bugs are starting to come out. So thanks for watching, and remember to stay hungry. I'll see you next time.